Hello and welcome to my channel. This week I'm going to build up the Naboo Starfighter from Revell. This is an older kit from their Easy Kit Pocket range and its kit number is 06798. These kits usually come pre-coloured and don't require any painting or gluing. The skill level is number 2, which I presume that's because of its size, because it's quite tiny. Well, that's all the contents, so it's not a lot. We have a double-sided instruction sheet and that only has 6 steps to follow, so it shouldn't take longer than half an hour to get this built up. I've also laid out all the sprue for you to take a look at. Unfortunately, the previous owner had already removed and lost several of the small parts, but thankfully they all belong to the cockpit area, so we shouldn't really notice them. So I pushed together the 2 remaining pieces of the cockpit, which is basically the flooring and the flight controls. Next I start snipping off the other part from the sprue. I pushed the partly assembled cockpit into the underside of the top shell, and right next to that I push into place the second half of the top of the spaceship. And then moving on to step 3, I pushed the cockpit window into place, and this was a really tight fit, so I had to press it down hard, try not to break anything. R2-D2 was pushed into his seat next, and once again it was difficult to push all the way down when there's so little to grab hold of. And now to add into place the left engine. The lower cowl goes on first and will be attached by the middle peg. Once all 3 pegs are sticking out, we can put on the top half, and that should line up perfectly. And for the last part of stage 3, we can push in place the underbelly of the ship. And once again, the whole way through this, I was worried I was going to break something, but thankfully it went together without causing any damage. For stage number 4, we have the right engine to assemble, and it's put together exactly the same way as the other one. Then the final step is to add on the cone to the front of the engine. These were very stubborn and required quite a lot of wrangling, and I'm not sure if the slight gap was intentional or not, but it's hardly noticeable. The last thing to build up is the flight stand, which comprises of 3 pieces. Since the Starfighter doesn't come with any landing gears, you have to use the flight stand to display it. And there's a little hole underneath where you can insert the peg. Now I'm not quite done yet, as there's a couple of extra details which I want to add. There are quite a few panel lines on this kit which you just cannot see. So I go over the whole thing with a black panel liner and those details start to pop. It reminds me of going over a drawing once you finish with it with a fine black pen, and all that hidden detail is brought to the surface. I'm also going to brush on some silver ribbon buff to help add a little bit of wear. With this being a prestigious royal ship, I don't want it looking too dirty, but I have no problem making it look like some of the paint is worn off, because you never know, this could be the one that the Mandalorian gets his hands on a few years later, and that one is mostly silver. So there you have it, a completed Naboo Starfighter, and despite a couple of missing pieces, it was a nice quick project to complete. I still have a couple more of these kits from this series, so check back at a later date and see them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.